The Last Call, a recorded incident. Before I tell you this story, I need to be clear about one thing. No official record confirms that what happened to Daniel Hale was real, but no investigation has ever been able to explain it either. Every phone log, every audio trace, every signal analysis ended the same way: no origin, no owner, no physical source. Just a time. Always the same time. 2:17 a.m. Daniel's phone rang at exactly that hour on a Tuesday night. He later said the sound didn't wake him up so much as it felt like it had been waiting for him to be awake already. The screen lit up his room with a pale glow. Unknown number. He stared at it longer than he should have, then answered, not because he wanted to, but because something in him felt like ignoring it would be worse. "Hello?" he said quietly. There was breathing on the other end, slow and controlled, close enough that he could hear the slight distortion of air moving past the microphone. Then a voice spoke, calm and unmistakably familiar. "Daniel." His body tensed immediately. "Who is this?" he asked. The voice didn't answer right away. Instead, there was a faint echo in the background, like the caller was standing in a large empty space. Then a soft laugh. "You really don't remember me?" the voice said. "I thought you would by now." Daniel started to speak, but the call ended abruptly. No warning. No goodbye. Just silence. He sat there staring at his phone, heart racing, trying to convince himself it was a prank, a coincidence, anything simple. 2 minutes later, his phone vibrated again. Voicemail received. That didn't make sense. He hadn't missed another call. When he pressed play, the recording began with static, followed by the sound of footsteps echoing down what sounded like a long hallway. After a few seconds, a voice joined the recording. Daniel's voice. Younger. Lighter. Laughing. "No one will ever find out." Daniel dropped the phone onto the bed. He knew exactly when he had said that sentence. He hadn't thought about it in years, but the memory came back instantly, sharp and unwanted. He didn't sleep again that night. The next day, Daniel stayed home. His parents said he barely spoke, barely moved, and kept replaying something on his phone with the volume low, as if he didn't want anyone else to hear it. At exactly 11:43 a.m., the doorbell rang. Security footage later showed no one standing on the porch, but when Daniel opened the door, a small package sat on the welcome mat. There was no return address. Just his name written neatly, carefully, as if whoever wrote it didn't want to rush. Inside was an old phone, a model discontinued years earlier, scratched and cracked from heavy use. The battery should have been dead, but when Daniel picked it up, the screen flickered to life on its own. A single message appeared. "Tonight. Same time. Don't miss it." That evening, Daniel searched the number that had called him. Nothing came up. He analyzed the voicemail file, checked metadata, timestamps, anything that might prove it was fake. Instead, the data only made it stranger. The recording was dated years before his current phone even existed. At 2:10 a.m., Daniel sat on his bed with both phones in front of him. He didn't want the call to come. He also knew he would answer it. At exactly 2:17 a.m., the old phone rang. He picked it up immediately. "What do you want?" he asked. The voice sounded satisfied. "I want you to stop pretending," it said. "I want you to remember what really happened." Daniel swallowed. "I remember enough. You're dead." There was a pause, longer than before. When the voice returned, it was colder. "So is he," it said. "But that didn't stop you from growing up. Going to school. Laughing. Sleeping." Daniel's breathing became shallow. "I was a kid," he said. "I didn't mean to, so was he," the voice interrupted. That was when Daniel noticed the streetlight outside his window flickering. Beneath it stood a figure, tall and unmoving, facing his room. His phone buzzed with a message. "Look closer." As Daniel stepped toward the glass, the figure lifted its head, and the light revealed a face Daniel hadn't seen since he was 13. Memory flooded back all at once. The argument, the anger, the shove meant to scare, not to hurt, the sound of a body hitting concrete, the silence that followed, and the lie he told when someone finally asked where the other boy had gone. "You said you wouldn't tell," Daniel whispered. "I didn't," the voice replied. "Not until you forgot." The call ended. According to police reports, Daniel's room was found empty the next morning. No signs of struggle. No forced entry. His bed was untouched. On his desk sat 2 phones, one new and one old. Both were ringing when officers entered the room. Both stopped at exactly 2:18 a.m. The case remains open. What never made it into the official report is this. 3 months later, Daniel's number called another phone at 2:17 a.m. The voicemail left behind contained only footsteps, and a familiar voice laughing. "No one will ever find out."